Thank you, sir. Good morning to all of you. Hope you all are safe. I, Amrita Hadkar, on behalf of Jharkhand University, Ranchi, welcome you all in the webinar organized by Jharkhand University in association with Yogoda Satsanga Mahavidyalaya, Ranchi. Jharkhand University is the only private university in the state of Jharkhand, Bihar, and West Bengal approved by UGC and accredited by NAC, both under the inspiring leadership of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Savita Singh. The university offers postgraduate degrees, undergraduate degrees in different disciplines. Now we will inaugurate the session with auspicious lighting of lamp. Let the light removes all the negatives from our life.
शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
Now, I request all of you to join us for the Holy Vandana. I would like to take the privilege to introduce Brigadier Dr. Anil Sharma Sir, Principal Yogoda Satsanga Mahavidyalaya, Ranchi. Brigadier Dr. Anil Sharma Sir served the Army in Artillery and Air Defense and commanded an independent Air Defense Battalion Brigade. An expert on radar and size, Sir is a former head of the Office of Net Assessment in the Ministry of Defense and member of defense delegations to chapters and articles to his credit, including draft national and defense security strategies via the Office of Net Assessment. I request clear those strategies via the Office of Net Assessment. I request Brigadier Dr. Anil Sharvasha to please address the
Mr. Arijit Day, the coordinator of the event, Dr. Rashmi, Professor Anirban Vishwas, all the panelists here, Amritaji, Kumar Amrendraji, Piyush Shanajan, and our host Sarpan Datta, and Registrar of Rai University, all the participating students and faculty. Jai Guru, Jai Hind, and Pranam to you all. Having this webinar today, when Guru Malla was being played, really reminded me that how an appropriate occasion today is. Our Guru is dispeller of darkness, अज्ञान से ज्ञान की ओर ले जाने वाले. And in today's environment, due to the situation created by COVID-19 and its after effects, we all are gripped with a feeling of uncertainty, apprehension, and fears. Fears regarding our own safety, fears regarding our career, fears regarding our job profile. So this is a day when I am sure the God and Gurus will bless us to see the light beyond the darkness and force us and motivate us to work towards that light. With that, I will just say a few words about this topic. It is appropriately, very appropriately chosen, resurgence of Indian economy and employment opportunities. That is during the post-COVID situation. Now it has four elements. Firstly, it says resurgence of Indian economy. It means due to the post-COVID situation, the Indian economy is down. And it needs to be resurgence or it is already coming up. Next point, very relevant to all the participants, the employment opportunities. Now this seeming adversity, does it have any opportunities for us? As I brought out what Guru does, there is always a light beyond the darkness. Does it have that kind of an opportunity? Now this is the topic of today. And I'm sure our learned guest, Mr. Arijit Day, will really cover it in detail. I will just flag a few points. For example, let us take IT sector today. Almost like all sectors, it is shedding jobs. All the companies which had regular employees, they are moving from work from home. That is, employees will work from home, and there will be very few core staff that will be coming to the office. That will affect the large number of pay structure and so on. But now let's just think through. Those employees in IT who can work from home, which means an employee in the company may be located in Delhi or Mumbai, can work from Ranchi, can also work from Gola. That is the opportunity in this adversity. However, to make most of this opportunity, that employee has to be good in the IT domain. Like now this I gave the example of IT sector. Actually, in today's job scenario or economic scenario, IT is everywhere. All sectors require employees who are through with IT, who are good in IT, because they will all be looking forward to work from home, to let their employees work from home, because it saves them cost. In such a scenario, any candidate, any student, any job seeker who is good in IT, who is nimble in IT, will get an opportunity. And for him, this adversity will rather become opportunity. And his employment or generation, how much he can earn or he or she can earn, will depend on how good that person is in IT enabled technologies, how digitally nimble that person is. Now that is the example of opportunity. Now to have that opportunity, we all need today some kind of a wherewithal. Like in earlier times, written material like a fountain pen was must for everyone. Everyone will all have our own. In today's environment, to capitalize on this opportunity, which is though in a limited window, is necessary that we all have our own means of smart devices. It may be a smartphone, it may be an iPad, it may be a laptop, and so on, whatever one can have it and be proficient in using it. When we have this wherewithal and a will to succeed, people will, the adversity can be converted into opportunity. So that is the message I really want to set about before Mr. Arjit takes over. I'm sure he will cover all other sectors in detail and give us a very enlightening overview so that when we get through with this webinar, we go back with the hopes and we will know that during this seeming adversity, actually there are opportunities. And that's what I have to say. Now, over to Mr. Arjit today. We really look forward to hearing him. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for your for enlightening us. As we all know, the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic has disturbed the political, social, economic and financial structures of the whole world. I'm sure the young aspirants are very keen to explore the new normal in economy as well as the employment opportunities. Today's webinar on the topic Resurgence of Indian Economy and Employment Opportunities post-COVID-19 will unfold many such questions. Dear participants, you can put your query in the chat box during the session. The question and answer session will be open in last 10 minutes. The feedback link will be shared in the chat box at the end of the session. Now we are very glad to welcome Mr. Arijit De, Director DYLIS Business Services Private Limited Mumbai as our guest speaker of the day. With a rich experience of nearly 1.5 decades, Mr. Arijit De has made it his mission to improve the skill levels and employability of the youths. His present venture with DYLIS Business Services Private Limited focuses on propelling this mission further under his focused leadership. Mr. De has spearheaded the HR function as part of the core management team for multiple organizations across industries like IT, ITES, education, manufacturing, etc. He is working extensively with many organizations of repute like Lassen, Hyber Technocrat Limited, Elomatic, Cadmatic, and many more. Mr. De is also an expert in strategic HRM, OD, L&D, and employee engagement strategies and has been acknowledged for aligning the different HR strategies. He is also a certified life and career counselor, certified master practitioner of NLP, certified success coach, and certified OD analyst. Mr. De bagged many prestigious awards like Top 101 Training and Development Leaders by World HRD Congress, CHRO Asia, and ET Now 2020. Distinguished L&D Professional Aeon Hewitt 2019, and many more. We welcome you, sir.
Hello.
Arijit, sir?
Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. And Johar Jharkhand. So, it's a wonderful opportunity that has been given to me by Jharkhand Rai University and Yogoda Satsanga Mahavidyalaya. I'm really privileged to be here with all of you. I can see on my screen that we have nearly 900 attendees, which is wonderful. It has been my Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So it has been kind of my dream to be with the youth, being part of that place called as Ranchi, having been left almost 15 years back. Uh, my heart still lies there, and definitely, it will be a wonderful opportunity which has been handed over to me, and I would like to make the most of it by giving some industry relevant insights, which I feel somehow is a gap for the students in our region. We'll talk less about the academic points in this session, and we'll try to cover more about the industry relevant points. So, with that, I take your permission to proceed on our first slide. Thank you once again, and thank you very much for being here. Amrita ma'am,
Yeah,
can you
yeah,
see
it
my
is.
slide?
Yes, sir. Your first slide, title slide, is visible to us.
Okay. Somehow, you know,
Are you not able to move to the next slide?
no, it's not moving. Just give
Okay.
me a second.
Okay. Okay. I'm doing it from my end. Yeah.
Okay. So I think you can take this, presenter model to yourself and let us just, share your screen, because somehow the screen is not moving here.
Sir, you can start the slide. I can move. I can go to the next slide on behalf of you.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. So can you
Yeah.
just take the presenter
Second, sir.
screen?
Yeah. 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 It's okay.
Okay. So
Yeah. Second slide. Yeah.
great. So let's talk about the Indian economy, the present case. Okay, so what is happening right now? So our economy, if you see, it's based on four fundamental pillars. The first one is consumption. The second one is the manufacturing part or the supply part. The third one is export, and the fourth one is capital flow. So we all know what has happened recently with the advent of this COVID-19. Consumption has hit very bad. There is very less demand, which is we are facing in the market. The manufacturing part, the supply chain has been disrupted. The people required for production, they are unable to work. And also the raw materials which is required for manufacturing has been disrupted due to delay in supply chain and various other restrictions put in by government to contain the spread of corona. Then the export part, as we all know, that due to all these restrictions, the exports have also been restricted. There are no flow which is happening right now, and because of all the above three reasons, the capital flow has been disturbed. So the liquidity crunch, what is called, is prevailing in the market right now. The companies, the industries, they are there is an acute um, am I still audible, Amrita ma'am? Hello, hello.
You are audible. You are quite audible.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting some pop-ups on my screen. So yeah. Anyways, so yeah, so we are facing the liquidity crunch, which is making the industries, to survive in this moment very challenging. The result, as we have seen, because of all these reasons, the GDP has gone down to its lowest. So up from the prediction of around 6%, we have witnessed 4.2% last week, and probably we would be around 3% by the end of the financial year. In the month of May, the unemployment surged to its highest, which was like 27%, which was like unprecedented for always almost like 8 9 years. It was highest. However, with the um, efforts of opening up, once again it has gone down. Last week it was around 8.5%, which was very close to the situations before lockdown. So that was a very positive thing which we have witnessed over the months. There are few industries which are facing absolute challenge of being extinct. These industries are like hospitality, tourism, business spaces, and co-working spaces. As Brigadier Sir has already pointed out, people working from home, that would be a very good opportunity for the employees. But think about the real estate industries, companies who are providing spaces. So companies who are running the business, if employees or most of their employees, if they are working from home, may not.
Arjun sir,
Yes,
Arjun sir, sorry for the interruption. I just wanted to share with you like we are still in the second slide.
yeah,
So will you
yeah.
please tell us is it in the second slide or we need to change the slide so that we can
No,
do
we
it
are in
from
this.
our end?
Yeah, please. So we are in the second slide, and I
Okay.
will keep you. I'll tell you. I'll prompt you to
Sure, sir.
change.
Sure.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. So what is happening. So companies would no longer be requiring that much of space. So think about those companies who are into real estate, especially creating office spaces. You have heard about big IT business parks. Okay, so companies would no longer need that much of space. So there would be a surplus place available, and nobody would like to take them. So these companies will face the real threat of existence. Another sector which has got extremely hit is the MSME sector. So MSME sector, this stands for micro, small, and medium enterprises. And government recently, you must have heard the news that government has given extensive financial support. They have at least announced. But please understand one very basic point. It's really commendable whatever support government has extended, but they are helping the suppliers. The MSME sector is basically the suppliers. They are manufacturers or they are providing service. So what is happening that the fund that government has allocated would definitely help these MSME players to sustain their business. With this liquidity crunch, they are having the challenge of running their operation, releasing the salaries of their employees. This will get some support, some help. But until unless the market is having demand, what will any company will do by producing, right? So we also need to think how to create demand in the market. So once the demand is there, then only all these facilities, all these packages would really help the companies to grow and bring back the economy and the GDP to the normal levels. Amrita ma'am, can we go to the second slide, please now? Third one?
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So with this, what we are looking at. So when we are talking about resurgence, which means like, the re-emergence or coming back where we had been previously. So right now, what we are looking at for the financial year, we would be around 3% in terms of GDP growth, which is basically half of the prediction which was there at the, before COVID had happened. So overall, in a term, you can say there is 3%, around 3% contraction in the economy, but we are lucky to still have a positive growth. If you see a lot of developed economies like the US and the Europe, they are facing a contraction in the GDP, in the economy, where they are having a negative GDP percentage for the financial year, at least now. So when we are talking about models we can use, okay? So in terms of recovery, it could be a V-shaped recovery, it could be a U-shaped recovery, and there might be a W-shaped recovery. So what these things mean? Quite literal to their shape. A V-shaped recovery means that there is an immediate downward growth or recession followed by a quick recovery. This is what many of the developed countries are facing. Countries like US and UK, especially those countries which have gone to or resort to the lockdown quite late, they have faced an immediate recession, and right now they are coming up bit by bit. A U-shaped recovery means that there is a slow recession, okay? Over a period of time, economy is going down, 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 and then there is a sustained period of recession followed by a slow recovery. Similarly, the W-shaped recovery means there is an immediate slowdown followed by some signs of recovery, which is again followed by a downturn, and then the final recovery phase starts. So when we are talking about the Indian economy, we are expecting a U-shaped or a W-shaped recovery, not a V-shaped recovery. What is the importance of this statement? It means that we have seen a very slow downward recession compared to many other countries, and we are going to stay in that lowest growth part or the recession part for a while before the real recovery starts. So that is why, the first slide we have spoken about that the current GDP is around 4.2%, and for the year we are expecting around 3%. So there is a chance that there might be some more downward growth that we will be observing. However, the recovery, what we anticipate in the industry, will take around 8 months of time from now. So till 8 months, there will be no substantial development which is foreseen. The special challenge you can see for the industry as well as for the students is to sustain these 8 months. Once these 8 months, that is, let us take an you know mm, a lump sum figure, which could be around April May 2021. So till that time we need to sustain ourselves, and then only we will see some real positive things happening in the market. So in 21-22, the expected GDP growth will be around double, that is nearly 6%. So a lot of activities are foreseen for the next financial year, and that is why all you students need to be very positive. Apart from being positive, there are few other things which students need to require to do, and that we will discuss in the following slides. Now, one very good thing about India is that overall long-term outlook for our economy is still positive, as assessed by all the leading rating agencies. So no need to worry. Okay, but what we need to keep in mind that the uncertainty and unpredictability will continue, and we need to be flexible, we need to be agile to respond to that challenge. Amrita ma'am, can we move to the next slide, please?
Yes, sir, done.
Thank you. So a bit about the economy. So the economy can be divided into three major sectors. These are called as the primary sector, the secondary sector, and the tertiary sector. So primary sector is basically the agriculture and mining, which is providing the raw materials for the secondary sector, which is manufacturing. The tertiary sector is consist of services. Okay, so why that is important? Now in India, agriculture has a very major importance. We all know that it employs about 44% of our labor force. However, the contribution to the economy is only around 15.5%. If we talk about the industry or the manufacturing sector, they employ 24% of our workforce, whereas the contribution to the GDP is around 23%. Let's come to the service sector. The service sector is employing around 32% of the labor force, but they are contributing as much as 61.5% to our GDP. So it simply means that the primary sector and the secondary sector are definitely very essential, but the growth is coming from the service sector. And for the resurgence of the economy, it's absolute essential to focus on our tertiary sector, which is service industry. Ma'am, next slide, please.
Done, sir.
So when we were talking about the COVID and the coronavirus, there is a terminology which we are hearing too much. That is the new normal. So let us understand what is this new normal. Okay. So new normal is the change in the trends that we have been observing so far in our lives. We always knew that working means you need to have a workplace where you would be reporting and you'll be working for 9 hours or 8 hours, and then you'll be coming back home. There would be a certain salary or the payment structure which is there. Okay, you would be working in departments or with teams. However, all those things are changing, and in some sense, it has already changed. We have already seen the emergence of working from home culture. So lot many companies, they have kind of mandated work from home now onwards. Companies like TCS, Accenture, Google, and many more, they have already issued a guideline and made it a policy that for probably rest of their life, only 20 odd percent employees would be working from office, or that too in a rotational basis. So only essential employees, like in terms of manufacturing, people, you know, who are involved in manufacturing, in production directly, who would be running the machines, would be the people going to the office. Most of the support staff would be working from home. Almost all the companies nowadays, they have issued a guideline that till next December 2021, most of their employees who can work from home efficiently would be working from home. Similarly, the payment structure will be revised. You will not see a direct correlation with the earlier pay structure with the new pay structure whenever you are going to the market. The reason being, while you are working from home, you are not wasting your time in travel, you are not wasting your resources for traveling. So being in Ranchi or Dhanbad or Bokaro, probably you may not fathom the importance of this. But when you go to the metro, on an average, people spend nearly 3 to 4 hours every day traveling to work. So you are saving 4 important hours in your life. And not only that, you are saving the finances to make the arrangements for the travel. So will not have those those conveyance allowance and everything which you are there earlier. There will be focus more towards the performance related days. Why? Because while working from home, it's very difficult to monitor and control your performance on a regular basis. So at the end of the day, what you were supposed to do and what you are actually producing will be measured, and a significant, if not half, around 25 to 30% of your salary, of your payment, of your package will be related to that, even for the support function. In sales and all, this is already happening, but it will be extended for the support function people as well. Another trend that we would be seeing is collaboration on a virtual basis. So sessions like this, probably we have never done earlier seminars over web platform. So these kind of things will become normal. So now a physical seminar will be something which would be a rare phenomenon. So lot of meetings, lot of team meetings, meetings with the client, sales presentations, everything would be happening over a virtual platform. So importance of these technologies will be immense. The trend for performance review and evaluation will also change, because nobody is interacting physically on a daily basis. So your words will be taken as the inputs for your performance. And at the end of the day, you have to meet them. So there would be certain technologies required, new applications, tools are required, where we can efficiently review the performances of the employees. The rewards and recognition system, which is of immense importance in the new modern day HR, would also change. There used to be an instant recognition scheme followed by a lot of big companies, PSUs. But please remember that it would be a big challenge. How can you recognize an employee instantly when you have not seen what he has done? So it will no longer be possible. So we as an HR need to come up with replacing policies and alternate solutions to keep people motivated. And not last but not the least, the challenge would would be to keep the employees engaged. So engagement is essential to maintain good productivity. When you are working together, working in office, it's relatively easier. It's never a very easy task, but it is relatively easier to engage the employees when you have a direct physical access to them. But now HR need to engage people virtually. You are working at your home, at your place with lot of different challenges around, and still how to keep you motivated would be the probably the biggest challenge for the HR in the coming days. So overall, we speak about VUCA, volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. So this is at its peak, and we would need new insights, new skill sets to overcome these challenges. And that is what we are going to discuss in the coming slides. Amrita ma'am, please, next slide, please.
Yes, done.
Thank you. So, having discussed about the current and the probable state of our economy, let's now find out what would be the growth drivers, what would be the industries from where we are expecting this resurgence of economy. So, one important sector would be the IT and ITS sector for the obvious reason that we would need a lot of infrastructure to enable the employees to work from home. And not only employees, the overall economy is going to be virtual in the coming days. So even your marketplace, your daily transactions would be virtual. So companies who are facilitating any type of virtual experience would see a growth. So this could be like enabling employees to work from home efficiently. This could be the technologies or the companies which are enabling the employers, the companies to monitor the employees properly, effectively. This could be the companies who are facilitating the buyers and the sellers to do the transaction on a virtual platform, what we call the e-commerce. So companies like Amazon, Flipkart, Snapdeal, and all those, Myntra, they will also see. And similarly, these companies like Zomato and Swiggy, they have never seen this kind of growth before pandemic. So probably they are the companies who have really, really encashed this opportunity very well. Okay. Then, in terms of ITES, a lot of work which needs to be done virtually would need lot of support. So companies who would provide support on the existing technologies to run it smoothly and towards maintenance would also see the growth opportunity. Next is the electronics manufacturing. So, the current situation with China and the entire world is really not happy. We are talking about outsourcing of lot of manufacturing activities for which China is still the hub. In that, if you have seen the news, Computer components and mobile components are two very major and big industries which are going to come up in the coming future. So basically, the mission or the mantra given by our Honorable Prime Minister, Make in India, we need to take this mantra global. So, Make in India is not only for us, but we have to ensure that we spread our products globally. And that is how the next wave of economic growth is going to happen with India. Next sector which will be driving the growth is new generation technologies. New generation technologies means technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, natural language processing, Internet of Things, and so on, robotics, etc. So these technologies will define the future. Even before this lockdown, these were in demand. The difference now would be the industries and the companies would have to, I mean, there is no other alternative which is available to them for not having these technologies. So the entry level barrier will be diminished. So there will be a fast acceptance of these technologies, and there is a big market available for them. Because to sustain the businesses, the companies from all other industries would need to have support of all these technologies. A few examples we can take, like candidate selection, which was usually done by the HR through written test, face-to-face interviews. When you convert this entire module on a virtual platform, it is not a simple technology. It cannot be done just by creating interactive software with options where the candidate can put the answers in a text box. You need to have artificial intelligence integrated at the back end, which can analyze and tell you how authentic, how genuine, or how capable this candidate is. The next sector or the industry which will drive the growth is the manpower supply. Now, this is something which we do not, or till date we have not seen as a very big sector, or very admirable sector, but somehow this will have immense growth. And we are not right now talking about this. If you go to the news or the any other analysis, but please remember, you have witnessed like thousands and thousands and lakhs of people have come back to the smaller places who were working as workers, as laborers in the metros. So now, if I'm talking about Mumbai or Pune, so these places are really craving for these manpowers, the entry level, the basic level, the fourth level manpowers. So kitchens they have opened, they don't have cook, they don't have servers. Okay, similarly, the real estate industry or the infrastructure industry, they don't have workers. So any agency which would take this opportunity will have a very bright future. The next industry which has come up overnight, okay, masks, personal hygiene, sanitizers, they were not our favorites as Indians. But from the advent of Corona, in just 2 months, this has become a 700 plus crore business and industry in itself, almost overnight. And this will continue to be there probably for the rest of our lives. So medical and surgical supplies, which includes normal masks, N95 masks, gloves, and other personal protection gears like coverall, PPE kit, and whatever you have, learned very recently. So these things will definitely add to the economy, to the growth of economy. And finally, the BFSI sector, the banking and financial sector. These will be extremely important because all the schemes, the agendas which have been rolled out by the government ultimately executed through these agencies, banks. So until unless they are into the picture, it will be really difficult to bring our economics back on track. Few other important sectors where we should focus are the healthcare insurance focus. We know that healthcare insurance or the Mediclaim is not very popular in India. Only a certain percentage, which we call as the knowledgeable or literate population, they are presently going for the healthcare insurance, and it's really tough to convince the people to have one. But with such a pandemic and with right set of people, this sector will have a lot of potential in the future. Another sector which have the potential is the alternate and the renewable energy. So we have seen a kind of doomsday for the oil and the natural energies, traditional energies. Okay, and it's very difficult for this sector to come back again to the heights it used to be 10 years back. However, this break due to lockdown has given us an opportunity to explore and implement the alternate and renewable energy sources. So there is almost a 13% growth. I'm talking about India. 13% growth in the use of alternate energies in India over the period since January till date, which is a very significant and important statistics to know. Ma'am, can we go to the next slide, please?
Yes, done.
Thank you. So before going to what the students needs to do, let us first understand what the industry wants. What I look for when I go for hiring, or what I want to see at the time of interviews. So first thing, please understand that we don't look for Einsteins in every candidate. What we need is a basic set of expected technical skills along with some essential soft skills. So we will discuss on. So when you are appearing for any job interview, basically you are handed over a job description first. Go through that job description. What is mentioned over there, I can ensure you that is only the 60% of the requirement at least. So you need to have those things which is mentioned on job description. And what you have in addition to that will ensure your selection. So job description basically focuses on specific requirement of the role. But as an HR, when we go for hiring candidates, our focus is not only the present role, but also the future role, where we want you to go. And you need to have that spark in you. You have to demonstrate that spark during the interview. to convince me as your employer that yes, even if you are being selected for a role, let's say A, you have the potential to grow to take a role, let's say B, over 3 years or over 2 years. So that is very important. Now, apart from that, what we basically need is your attitude and aptitude, which basically means what kind of, apart from your technical knowledge, how good a team player you are, how good a listener you are, how good a motivator you are, how well you take responsibilities, how dependable you are, and the most important thing, what is your integrity? Because a lot of companies, especially MNCs, the first and foremost requirement or what they would love to see is your integrity. So if we talk about as a conclusion of this particular slide, it's we can define it as all these things what we have spoken about, that is required, that was required earlier also, but now it will be more pronounced. Your technical skills, because you will not have direct access maybe to a support system where people can come at your desk and help you out. You need a better understanding, a better grip on your own technical topics, subjects. And apart from that, your success will also largely depend on the soft skills that you will have, your communication skills, your collaboration skills, your team spirits. So that will be much more pronounced because when you are collaborating on a virtual basis, these things are what will define your future success. Next slide, ma'am.
Yes.
Fast, very strong are the mobile applications development, because a lot of things, when they are supposed to happen virtually on a virtual platform, it will be happening through mobile apps because web even is no longer that popular. Everyone, almost everyone today is having a smartphone or a tablet, and mobile apps, an Android app or an iOS app, they are much more convenient to use compared to accessing the platform through a web application. Next thing, which is coming up very fast, as I have already told, is the artificial intelligence, which is also called AI. So, a lot of these tools, which would be the backbone of our working in future, will have AI in the backend. Now, AI in itself will not help. It will work in combination with other technologies like natural language processing, neural networks, and machine learning. So for each and every platform or tool, this may not be required, but a combination of these will go in each and every technology. So in few, it may be AI with ML, in few, it may be AI with NLP, in few, it may be AI with neural networks. But that AI will remain as a common single most important factor. The next is Python, which is a language. Now, Python is right now the most preferred language for AI ML. So, if you want to have a career in AI or in ML, you need to have a very good basics, fundamentals in Python. The next is the data science. Okay, so Data science, we are um, talking about basically a combination of skills, which are programming skills, using use of statistics and statistical tools, machine learning, data intuition, software engineering, big data, and analytical reasoning. So a combination of all these skills is basically what forms the foundation of data science. The next skill, which is very important, is data privacy and cybersecurity. Now, when everybody is working remotely from home, a very important aspect which goes in the back end is securing the data, because you are working through a network. There are no more physical files or local data sharing or local data saving. So if your network is exposed, there is no confidentiality. So your competitor can look into whatever activities you are doing, whatever strategies you are preparing, whatever proposals you have sent. Everything will be available to the world. So that is why data privacy and cybersecurity will be very important for the future. There's no other way out. There is no other option which could replace this. The next skill is cloud and web computing services. Like you have Amazon cloud services or Google or Microsoft. So these things will be very important because a lot of applications are now cloud based. Uh, because of the cost factor, companies don't want you know client server based applications, and if you don't have that much of infrastructure available where you keep servers and maintaining the performance, service, and safety of that server becomes an additional cost. So lot of things, lot of applications, lot of activities will move on cloud. So this will become a very important skill for the future. Blockchain, you have heard a lot of things about it. Blockchain is coming up very fast. Virtual and augmented realities. This is another sector which is coming up very fast and also will be very important, because not only for the core engineering or technology topics, you would need the support of virtual and augmented realities in support functions. Functions as you know different as HR, finance. So lot of induction. Now, if you don't have a workplace, you are working virtually from your home, how will the HR carry out an effective induction and onboarding program? It will not be very effective if it is just happening over phone or a video conferencing. So if I want to give you a feel of about the company, about the products, we would need support from these kind of technologies. Apart from induction and onboarding, specific training modules. If I want to do a product training, so without calling you at my premise or without sending the heavy machineries at your home, how can I do it? How can I give you a real feel? So that is only possible through the use of virtual and augmented reality. So that is one field which will be very critical in the future. IoT is going to be one very important field, because you need to create local networks, interrelated devices for one particular companies. IoT also ensures an enhanced data privacy and data security, because you are working as in a private network which is not exposed to the World Wide Web. So the threats or the challenges of being exposed or being hacked are considerably less. So as we spoke about manpower supplies, which we have not so far spoken very highly, here we have one skill, one function, which till date we have not spoken very highly, but will be very important in future. That is IT support. So IT support guy in any of the organization is a very mild fellow who is like helping everyone, not getting much of appreciation. But that function is going to be the key function, whether you have these technologies or not. This guy will be the key person who will enable your business to run smoothly. You would need support on each of these technologies or the languages or the tools which you will implement for your business. Proper maintenance, troubleshooting, and helping the employees out will be a business critical thing in future. And that is why this particular field will have a lot of importance. So anybody who is interested in hardware troubleshooting or basic installations or software troubleshooting or working on any specific suite of softwares like troubleshooting of MS Office or Citrix, anything, they will have some opportunities coming in future for sure. Okay, apart from that, the ERP skills will be very important. Now, ERP are basically enterprise resource planning softwares. So you have SAP, Oracle, Microsoft, SuccessFactors, PeopleSoft, you might have heard. So these things will become very important because the entire company level, organization levels transactions will be recorded through these. So most or many of the other companies who have not yet implemented these kind of ERPs will now be forced to go for one. So you will have career opportunities if you are a ERP consultant, like SAP consultant or Oracle consultant or a success factor consultant. If you are a technical consultant who works on basis, if you are a troubleshooter even, or if you are one who can work on testing, will all have opportunities in future. Next slide, ma'am. Amrita, ma'am.
Shall we change the slide?
It's done?
Yeah, done. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so there are some non-IT hard skills which will be very important in future. So heart of the business, the sales and business development. And that will be even more important because there will be no physical presence. So you have to sell virtually. So what we anticipate as a company, that the sales function will have a lot of demand, a lot of employment opportunities coming up in near future. So next 1.5 years, I would say there would be a lot of recruitment happening in the sales function. Content development is very important and will come up because when you are selling virtually, you are not present in your physical form before the person in front of you. The quality and the presentation of your content will be a very critical factor which will help you to sell. Video production is especially important for your social media marketing campaigns, website campaigns. That will be very important. Design thinking and industrial design. which will also include the product design or the service design, business analysis. Affiliate marketing is basically marketing done through your partners. So how effectively you are utilizing your partners, because you cannot now be physically present in all of the locations. So how effectively you are using your partners who are available there to represent you will be very critical. That would be the probably the only source of having physical meetings conducted or physical presentation conducted. Marketing research and analytical reasoning is going to be very important. Electronics and communication, because that will be the backbone of many of the technologies we have spoken about in the previous. Recruitment, because whenever there is a requirement of filling the positions, and there would be many in future, and you need to do it virtually. So your recruitment skills would be extremely important. How you can manage to convince the candidates without meeting them personally. How you can sell your organization. How you can sell your role will be extremely, extremely important. One function I have not mentioned here is, which is you will find if you go to any analysis mentioned over and over, is the HR function. Yes, I agree. In this new normal, in this new setting, the HR function will be very important. But please understand that HR function, which will be responsible to keep the entire organization together while staying separated, will not have much of requirements coming up. That is right. So existing people need to develop themselves. Existing people need to reskill and upskill themselves to perform this task. Ma'am, can we go to the next slide, please?
Yeah, done, sir.
Thank you. So managerial skills, which will be very important in the coming future, are product management, project management, people management, which is not only the HR function specifically I'm talking about, it's about the role of a supervisor or a team leader or a manager to keep the team together, keep them motivated, keep them positive. Okay, decision making, complex problem solving, real-time data processing, emotional intelligence, collaboration, and negotiation. So these are the skills we would see, like any student, if we have here from the management background or the from who are doing presently pursuing MBA. It's very important slide for them. This is what we would be looking at while hiring them for the future requirements. Next slide, please, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Done.
Thank you. Specifically, each of the employees, they need to have certain essential soft skills. These are the basic skills to sustain and work in a company, in an organization. So these basic skills that we want, whether you are a technical guy or a non-technical guy, working in operations on the front line or in the back end, we want these things in you. These are what, this is something new which is coming up now. This is called workplace flexibility, because you don't know from where you need to work. So you should be convenient, you should be flexible to work from your home, from whatever space is available to you, or if you are going to office, whatever space the administration department can, set up for you, because we don't have elaborative offices in future. So it might be just a beanbag on which you need to, spend your day. So you should be comfortable in doing that. That will be a very critical factor which we have not, you know, really interested in knowing in past. Another thing which is very important would be time management. So for your assignments, for your work, the delivery need to be very well managed. Resilience and agility, collaboration and teamwork, communication, creativity and innovation, strategic orientation, integrity, and discipline. So we have touched upon all these things in the past slides as well, but these are the basic things that each and every person needs to have. Next slide, please, ma'am.
Done, sir.
So, as a conclusion, you can say for any employee, like all those soft skills, few other basic skills we would require in the employees. So students or the final year students who are looking for job or will be looking for job in couple of months time, they need to focus on this particular slide. So this is basic digital skills, which means using the MS Office efficiently, basically your Microsoft Words, Excel, and PowerPoint. These three features you should be very good at. This is going to be because there, as an HR or as your department, I will not be in a position to arrange for a very personalized training program for you anymore. So your performance will suffer if you are not. Second is internet research, because this is going to help you out in troubleshooting your own queries, and use of social media effectively for your work. So these three things, which more or less you have been doing, you already know about them, but you need to be good at them. Business etiquettes, basic etiquettes that we would expect from you are email etiquette, phone etiquette, WebEx etiquette, and conference, which are like conference call over phone or video conferencing etiquettes. So there are a set of rules which you are expected to follow or display during these activities. So it is not only students but also the institute's responsibility to now prepare the students on these basic business etiquettes. Can we go to the next slide, ma'am, please?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's done. It's done.
Thank you. Thank you. So, support. Let's talk about support. So for the industry, we have already spoken that government is trying to provide support, whatever that is possible. Apart from that, to create the demand, we would need some time. When people have some money to spend, then only they can buy. So we have to give market that much of time, which I anticipate to be around 8 to 10 months. Okay. So there will be a government emergency level support, the funds and the schemes. Then there would be a policy level support, which will be a long-term support, which is already happening. So MSME scheme has been changed, and similarly, there are other inclusions which are happening at the policy level also. So those things will definitely help and motivate the industries to operate and carry out their operations in future. Then at institution level, we would need certain support, as we have discussed. What I would request the institutes to focus on is delivering these skills, what we have discussed. At least facilitate to have them the basic set of skills which would be required by the industry. So there is a particular model which is called T model. So T model, what T model says is you need to have a vertical set of skill and a horizontal set of skills. Horizontal set of skills are the skills which are required for any employment. Like we have spoken about the business etiquette skills, digital skills, or the soft skills. So these would be your horizontal skills, and one specific technical skill which is your USP, your specialty. So that is the vertical skill. So you are an expert of artificial intelligence. So that will be your vertical skill. Or if you are, let's say, accounting, could be your vertical skill. Okay, or software design, software testing could be your vertical skills, supported by your horizontal skills. That is the model which is going to give the students, the candidates, the growth prospect for the future. Next slide, please, ma'am.
Yeah, it's done, sir.
Thank you.
Hello? Yeah, it's done.
So we will talk very specifically about two aspects right now, as I am aware that there are students who are into the final year of their education and would be looking for job very soon. So this slide is for them. So this is specifically a crisis management situation for you guys. Okay, so you have approximately 6 months of time. So you need to use these 6 months very on a very focused manner. Okay. So what you need to do, you don't have time to do a lot of things right now. Create one specialization. Whatever you are good at, wherever you want to make your career, make it very strong. Whatever it is, or whatever background you are with, whatever you like, where you want to see yourself in future, make it a specialization for you where you are above average at least. Okay. Apart from that, get some related certifications done apart from your formal education. So it, even if it is like digital market, so digital marketing you are already learning in your BBA or your MBA. But apart from that, go for certain external certification to support your specialization. So you have Google certifications available, or you have a lot of other certification programs available in the market. So you can go whatever suits you based on the the financial requirement, the time requirement, flexibility. So whatever suits you, but please go for one or two related certifications for your specialization field. That's a sincere submission to all the final year students who will be looking for a job. Okay, and apart from that, please try to have some hands-on experience. Even if you have to work for free, please, like if I take digital marketing example, work for someone for 2 months, 1 month, whatever it is, part time, 2 hours a day. But please work, have hands-on experience, because only your certificate will not help you in getting the job. It will help you in getting your CV selected and will help you to make you sit in front of the interview. But after that, what you have actually done will take over. That will be more important. Okay. So the core takeaway for all the final year students who would be looking for a job is to stay relevant, keep upgrading yourself. Next slide, ma'am.
Yeah, done, sir.
Thank you. Okay, so the remaining set of students who are probably looking or planning for higher education. So like if you are a graduate level students or undergraduate students looking for a master's program or a PG program. So this slide is for you people. Okay. Please understand that one formal higher education will not be sufficient. So, like if you are doing MBA, so your MBA degree will not be enough for you to sustain in the market. Okay, so that may give you the opportunity to sit in an interview or even get a job. But after getting the job, if you want to grow, if you want to if you want to make a career out of that job, you need to have something additional. So what are those additional things? Please get proper skills, soft skills training. So I have already enlisted all the soft skills which are required by the industry. Prepare yourself on those soft skills. Make yourself comfortable, make it natural. You need to be them. The problem is lot of candidates we see. Okay, the issue with them is they know all those things, but that is not part of their behavior. So they may put on a mask for the purpose of attending the interview, but they fail miserably when they are on the job, because that was not natural to them, that was not their part of behavior. So they cannot, whatever they have said during the interview, they are not team players. They fail to build that, collaborative team which produces synergy. So please train yourself on these soft skills which are of extreme importance for your own growth, professional growth. Okay. Another important suggestion is similar to your seniors. Try for as many internships as possible during your study. Okay. Try to find out whatever big or small companies, even if a small chota shop, if you can, if you are, if you are from finance background or accounting background, do something for them. Do something. It's not important from where you are doing. It is important that you have done something hands on in the real life scenario. That will give you the wisdom, that will give you the experience, the exposure to handle and tackle and manage the challenges that you will face in your job life. Please don't practice or look for shortcuts. That will not help. This I can give you in writing. This will not help you in your future, in building your future. Okay? The motto would be the survival of the skillest. The person who are most skillful will be having the best growth opportunities, survival opportunities in future. Last slide, ma'am, please.
John, it's a conclusion slide.
Thank you very much. So finally, uh, let us summarize the entire session. Okay, what I can assure you that things are going to be better in another 8 to 10 months time. Things will come up, jobs will come up, opportunities will open up. So stay positive. Stay positive. That is very important. You may have to struggle if you are like getting passed out in 6 months time. You may not have, all of you may not have an opportunity in your hand right away, but in another 2 months or 3 months time you will definitely have some opportunity coming up. So please be patient and be positive, because until unless you have a healthy mind, healthy emotions, it will be very difficult for you to crack the interviews. So be positive, stay positive. Focus on self development. The motto is one skill will not be sufficient. You need to inculcate different skill sets with one specialization. And in that one specialization, you need to be really good. Acquire critical skills, which includes hard skills and soft skills. Please remember, soft skill will never be a substitute for your hard skills, because you will not like or go to a doctor who speaks very well, who communicates very well, who is very polite, but doesn't know about the medical science. So it's that important as that. Hard skills cannot be replaced by soft skills. You need to have basic level of hard skills, and then only your soft skills will help you to grow in that career. Learn to adapt to the situation fast. So your ability to be flexible, to respond to the changes, be dynamic, handle dynamic situations, ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn will be extremely critical. Finally, broaden your thought process. Create a strategic outlook. Because when you are working virtually, when you are working in silos, you are working alone, you need to understand the broader picture. What your manager wants, what your team lead wants, what your organization wants. And you are delivering a part of that entire big picture. So if you are not understanding the entire big picture, you may divert. Even if you are putting lot of efforts, the output may not be as expected by the organization. So your organization will not be happy about it, and you will also get demoted. So it will be extremely important for you to get that knowledge level, to understand the strategic level picture of whatever you are doing. So adaptability, agility, persistence, and integrity. These would be the four pillars for your personal and professional growth in this new normal. With this, I conclude this session, and I thank each of you to be so patient and join us today. And I wish you all the very best. Take care and stay safe. Amrita ma'am, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for such an informative session. I would just request you to kindly switch on your video so that you can be visible to the audience. Since from the beginning you are not visible to all of us.
That was the challenge, ma'am, because somehow my screen has hanged. That is why I asked you to take over.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so whenever I started the presentation, I went to the second slide, and from then it is just, like the screen has been deactivated.
Okay.
So that is the issue. So I cannot even unmute if I wish.
Okay, that is okay. So let us move to the question and answer session. So there are few
Yes.
questions. Though your informative slides have already covered most of the parts, but still some interesting questions are being raised by the students. So I will just like to put up some questions to you so that you can answer them. The
Yes,
first
please.
question, Kumari Bunty have raised a question that can micro and small businesses spearhead India's economic revival after this COVID pandemic? What do you think?
Very good question, Bhavji. See, for your information, India is having more than 6.5 crores of small and medium enterprises, and in those 6.5 crores, I mean, they are providing employment opportunity to almost 9 crores of the population, 9 crores employees. So the first question, I'll take a step back and tell you that if they face an existent challenge, it will be a great loss to the economy, and that is why government is taking so much of uh, efforts to revive, to make them sustain. Now, coming to your question, yes, that is going to be the future. If India has to come back, it has to strengthen the micro and small organizations. If you have seen the latest MSME policy which has been, which has come out just last month. So from 1st of July, this month only, the policy has changed. The purpose was to include more companies into this gamut so that collaboratively they can sustain and they can produce more. To answer your question in one single statement, yes, MSME will be critical and it will definitely add value in the resurgence of Indian economy.
Thank you, sir. One more question is there, Neha have raised. That is, what will be the post-COVID-19 scenario in the perspective of jobs, startups, and economy in India?
Great. See, in terms of, I'll take it in three parts. So for the economy part, we have already discussed in details. So economy part in another 10 months, be assured that things will change and things will come up, and you'll get a better picture. No worries about that. Okay. And ma'am, can you just repeat the 2 points again?
Yeah, that is in the perspective of jobs, startup, and economy.
Yeah. So jobs, yes. As the economy will revive, you will have lot more jobs coming up. There are already lot many jobs available in the market. The issue is movement. Okay, because lot of jobs. Please understand, every job is not possible virtually. There are lot many positions for which you need to have physical presence. So what are happening, like if you have witnessed two major cases, one with Bajaj plant and another with Sun Pharma. So people working together now, all those, both the industries, both the companies, they cannot have virtual laborers. That is not possible. So when people are working physically on the company premise, there is always an increased risk of infection. So definitely there are a lot of opportunities available right now in the market, but there are restrictions from the government, as well as there is a fear in people also to take those actions, take those positions or openings. But in future, as we will get some enhanced security measures implemented, people will get better chances. Last part, the startup part. Startup will be a bit more challenging than before. Reason is the the funds have dried up. Okay, so if you want to have a bootstrapped startup, yes, there is an opportunity. If you want to go for a startup with the help of some banks or some government schemes, yes, there is definitely an opportunity. But if you are specifically looking for external investments, kind of FIIs or angel investors, there is a challenge at least for another year or so.
Thank you, sir. There is one more question. Roshni, Priyanka, and so many other students have asked. The question is raised by Roshni directly. If one don't have any specialized degree, what he or she can do with a normal graduation degree for the employment in the COVID-19 situation and post-COVID? I just want to take up this question with the permission of the speaker, because there are very many students who are really worried about what is going to happen in coming scenario. So I just want to, I just want to tell you, dear participants, that this is the era of specialization. Yes, you need to be specialized. The specialization will include, as Arijit sir has rightly explained in his presentation, about the skill sets. It is about to develop the skill set within yourself. That is the essential skill set. That is also called as the hard skill, that sir has explained already, and the soft skill, which will include your attitude, your personality, your perception, and so many other interpersonal skills. Now, when in this scenario, when this COVID-19 pandemic is there, we need to adopt with the new normal. It is going to be a new habit for all of us. The new normal has to be adopted. And this skill set will going to make you, you need to develop the skill set in a way where you can be differentiated from others, like a brand. You need to create yourself, you need to create your own expertise in your own domain, so that you can be adoptable and absorbable in any of the companies whatsoever. So no need to worry about your future. The career prospect is going to open. Yes, the opportunities are there. When something is going to be closed, some other doors are going to open. So be positive, stay positive, find out your own area of career where you want to grow and make your specialization accordingly. So students, no need to worry. Everything is going to be a new normal for all of us. All the best. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Arijit, sir. Now, I would like to take the privilege to welcome our Honorable Registrar, sir, Dr. Piyush Ranjan, to extend the vote of thanks. Dr. Ranjan is having rich experience in the field of academics. He is having mastery in IT and management both. Jharkhand University has marked its position in the field of quality education in the state of Jharkhand under his dynamic leadership. Over to you, sir.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, I think Anil Sharma sir wants to say something. He was
Yes.
raising.
Yeah, sir.
Yes,
Anil,
thank you, Dr. Ranjan. Very observant of you. The students who raised a very pertinent question, and Mataji gave a, of course, absolutely specific response. I would also like to add, especially for the students who are saying that they got only plain academic background, how to add new skills. There is a range. Requirement of adding new skill cannot be wished away. It is very much there. Now there are possibilities today. We can acquire the new skills, good skill-oriented certification programs from online learning platforms, which offer even the degree and certificates from very reputed universities. They could be Indian, they could be global. Something like Coursera, which in our college we have been able to institute. All the hard and soft skills which were mentioned by Mr. Arijit, there is some or the other program. I have browsed over them. Now it's up to our students, even if they have a general, say, BA and general academic qualification, by doing these courses, they can acquire these skills. And let me assure you, I have myself done some, even now I keep adding these qualifications. They are very well structured. Not many platforms are there. So please go in for that. You can add on to your skills. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Ranjan. Please, over to you.
Thank you, Brigadier Sharma. Thank you. On behalf of Jharkhand Rai University, I extend my heartfelt thanks to Brigadier Dr. Anil Sharma for blessing this seminar by his presence. Thank you, sir, for your support and cooperation. Not only you have set the tone in the beginning for the webinar, but you have concluded this webinar also, sum up this webinar also with your thought. My special thanks goes to the participants who have shown an overwhelming response by registering with more than 2,000 in numbers. The participation in itself shows how the younger generation, how the students are ready to prepare themselves to take up the challenge. As a faculty, as a teacher, we are really glad to note that. All the best to the dear students. I also extend my thanks to the coordinator, Professor Rasmi and Professor Anirban, who have done a meticulous job since from conceptualizing the webinar and till the executing it. Thanks to Rashmi and Anirban for all the efforts put in to make this webinar a success. I extend my thanks to my speaker for the day, Mr. Arijit Dey, who beautifully explained and covered all the aspects which is required to motivate, encourage, and guide the younger generation to prepare in the challenging situation. Last but not the least, I thank to my technical team, Sapan Datta, my colleague, Amrita Majumdar, and the faculty members who have joined to make this session a success. I just want to conclude the session by saying, which has been indeed rightly mentioned also in the beginning by Brigadier Sharma, amid challenges always there is an opportunity. Amid challenges always there is an opportunity. This is the time has come with the IQ. We must have the EQ with us, social quotient with us, and the adversity quotient also is added to this domain. Adversity quotient is required now to be a successful. The roads are always lovely, deep and dark. The only thing which you have to do, you have to keep the promises to live. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you all for your active participation during the webinar. Hope you all had a fruitful session with us. The feedback form will be shared in the